Disasters, whether caused by natural forces or by man, are no strangers to most countries of the world. In recent years in the Americas, we have witnessed devastation from the earthquake in Mexico, the volcanic eruption in Colombia, and the hurricanes Luis, Gilbert, Yuko, and Andrew in the Caribbean, just to name a few. Floods wreak havoc every year in one country or another. Complex disasters such as those resulting from prolonged conflict in Central America and the crisis in Haiti have taken a high toll. How well equipped are countries, be they in the Americas or elsewhere, to face the sudden onset of disasters? Some mass media have portrayed and nurtured the image of helpless disaster victims and overwhelmed authorities. But in fact, local citizens quickly mobilize themselves, displaying a strong national solidarity. And most countries have sophisticated and extensive health services that can cover the immediate life-saving needs. Despite this, few countries alone can mobilize all the resources necessary to cope with a major disaster. This has been seen in the Americas as well as elsewhere, such as the earthquake in Kobe, Japan, and the Bosnian conflict in former Yugoslavia. During these trying times, countries often must rely on the international community. External relief assistance can be a mixed blessing. As news of a major disaster spreads, a concerned public worldwide clamors for prompt action. Some of these donations are crucial to helping the affected community get back on its feet. However, when relief supplies do not reflect real needs, they compete for attention and scarce space. Frequently, the result is what has been called the second disaster, an unpredictable and unmanageable flood of incoming relief supplies. The second disaster is especially felt in the case of donated medical supplies, where the health sector must divert personnel from other more important tasks to sort, classify, and label donated goods, the value of which is often questionable. Managing information and assessing needs are the keys to effective disaster management. Countries must establish a system to quickly collect and disseminate information on damage and their immediate needs. Then, to avoid creating a second disaster, countries must successfully manage the flood of incoming relief supplies, whether they were solicited or not, in order to quickly meet the needs of those affected. The Supply Management Project, better known as SUMA, is an international effort to quickly sort and inventory large amounts of relief supplies following a disaster. The SUMA software was tested extensively in 1990, and refinements have followed based on user needs and operational experience. SUMA has been put into action following natural disasters in Central and South America and the Caribbean, during the complex emergency in Haiti, and has been tested in Bosnia and elsewhere outside the Americas. SUMA helps local disaster officials manage incoming relief supplies so they can quickly reach the population in need. To accomplish this, SUMA relies on training, teamwork, and regional solidarity, while making the best use of available knowledge. Information on incoming relief supplies is collected at the points of entry and is forwarded to the central level, where it is consolidated into a national database. Decision makers can use this database to manage and allocate stockpiles, identify needs, and generate reports for donors. A unified relief supply management system should be able to track supplies from the time they are requested to the time when they are actually delivered. In addition to sorting, inventorying, and classifying at the point of entry, SUMA provides a management tool for local and international relief agencies to keep track of supplies being warehoused, to follow up on what requests have been made to donors, and what supplies are in the pipeline. Should a natural disaster strike in the region, Teams from that area would be mobilized and travel to the disaster site to provide a number of services to the national authorities, NGOs, and international humanitarian organizations. The SUMA teams will sort relief supplies and mark those for which an immediate and urgent need exists with specially designed labels to distinguish them from those items that have no immediate practical value. Identify and label items that require special handling, such as refrigeration, or that should be used quickly because of their short shelf life. Enter data using portable computers and prepare detailed reports for national relief authorities, for consignees taking delivery of the shipment, and for donors. If necessary, assist in the unloading, temporary storage, and repackaging of the relief supplies. Assist in clearing relief supplies through customs. To support national SUMA teams and volunteers from neighboring countries, kits consisting of communication equipment, generators, and laptops have been secured at several sites in the region. SUMA has experienced dynamic growth since its introduction in the Americas and the Caribbean. More than 1,000 professionals from 30 countries have graduated from SUMA system courses. The courses are attended by doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and professionals from civil defense, ministries of health, the Customs Service, National Red Cross societies, and the military. All disaster-prone countries in Latin America and the Caribbean have formed standing SUMA teams, ready to respond to disasters occurring both within their own borders and those affecting other countries. National SUMA teams will be on-site and operational as soon as possible following the disaster. Because the SUMA system software is easy to learn, new operators can be trained on-site. If necessary, volunteers will come from neighboring countries to provide support during the acute phase of relief operations. In this way, SUMA not only contributes to managing relief supplies, but demonstrates mutual assistance and technical cooperation among neighboring countries. The balance between donor and recipient is a delicate one. This is especially true now, when many countries are facing economic crises and soaring foreign debts, while at the same time industrialized nations are scrutinizing their expenditures. International assistance in the face of major disasters will continue to be needed to restore basic services and health care. To have a positive impact, international relief agencies and donors must consult closely with national health and civil defense authorities. While this may delay the arrival of aid by a few days, the time is well invested if the assistance truly complements local resources. Undertake, as soon as possible, proper assessment of the disaster situation and victims' needs. Once you know what you are likely to need, inform potential donors. Know what you do not need and refuse it if it comes. Consult with the affected country's disaster coordinators before sending relief supplies. Do not send relief supplies, especially clothes and food, to a disaster area unless they have been requested or approved. Make sure that relief goods, especially medicines, have a shelf life of at least 6 months after arrival. Donate cash or provide credit directly to national authorities whenever possible, or channel it through well-established NGOs. Print instructions for use of aid items in the language of the affected country. Provide proper notification and documentation for all relief consignments. Assist countries during preparedness, rehabilitation, and reconstruction phases. Victims of major disasters will continue to require national, regional, and international assistance. But sending or accepting unsolicited and inappropriate donations can cause the second disaster and clog relief channels, regardless of the good intentions of the donor or the affected country. SUMA will help disaster officials manage relief supplies and perhaps mitigate the second disaster. Disaster victims are served best when donors, international and national organizations, and local authorities work together.